Happening right now as we come on the air at noon, a special Board of Education meeting to screen the final candidates for JCPS superintendent. What we know about the search for Dr. Marty Polio's replacement.
I'm just hanging out over the bridge. I don't want to die.
Plus, it is our first time hearing that 911 call made from the driver of a semi and yet another dramatic rescue on a Louisville bridge. The first of several crashes this weekend in that same location. And it is the day we've talked about for the last 17 years. The Real ID enforcement date finally happening this week. Thanks for joining us here on this cloud cover Monday here at noon. I'm Brooke Hash. Right now, the JCPS Board of Education is meeting behind closed doors to discuss the district's next superintendent. Board members went into executive session this morning to meet with the JCPS Superintendent Screening Committee. It's an all-day event taking place today and tomorrow at the Muhammad Ali Center. Members are interviewing candidates, and we are told they'll be interviewing 4 people today and about 2 people tomorrow. And we are just 2 days away now from the country's Real ID deadline. That means starting Wednesday, May 7th, Americans or permanent residents will only be able to pass through airport security or enter a government building with a Real ID or another form of government-issued identification like your passport or military ID. Last month's study showed only about 36% of Kentucky IDs were Real ID compliant, whereas Indiana was at 81%. However, Indiana started offering Real IDs way earlier, back in 2010. Kentucky didn't start until 2020. If you are flying this week without a Real ID, you'll be subject to additional screening, which could be time-consuming. Also time-consuming is waiting in line to get that Real ID. We've covered this issue extensively over the last few months, where people have waited upwards of 7 hours at the driver's license offices. So what do you need to ensure you're not turned away once you get there? Proof of identity like a birth certificate or passport. You'll also need a social security card or W-2, 2 proofs of address, and if you're not a citizen, you need proof of legal presence. There's also the Skip the Line initiative for people in Kentucky. Specifically, when it comes to that required vision screening, there's an option to visit an eye specialist and upload your form online, or get a vision screening at a licensing office and do your renewal online. But note, this is for standard license renewals only, not the Real ID. In other news, Metro Police are investigating a shooting that happened in the parking garage of the Brown Hotel in downtown Louisville. We're told officers responded to that call around 2:17 and found the man shot in the leg. He's expected to recover. Police are searching for that area for any witnesses or video evidence. If you know anything, that anonymous tip line is 574 LMPD. Metro Police also investigating a triple shooting in the parking lot of that Kroger at 28th and Broadway near Norton West Louisville Hospital. We received this video from a viewer. The shooting happened around 2 o'clock Saturday morning. Metro Police said a man and woman died at the hospital after this. A third victim was taken by private means and expected to survive. As of now, there have not been any arrests. Well, now to that daring rescue on I-65. A portion of the Kennedy Bridge back open this afternoon after Louisville fire crews saved a semi-driver, again, left dangling in the cab of his truck, which was hanging over the edge of the bridge. A bit of deja vu for first responders who answered that call yesterday morning, and was the first of 2 crashes in that exact spot. Hours after the barrier had been repaired, a second semi crashed into that. Our Clary Shaley and photojournalist Aspen Hester report.
Dangling in the air off the Kennedy Bridge on I-65.
So they practice all the time. They're ready for this.
Louisville Fire came to the rescue of the driver of this semi-truck Sunday morning after crashing into the rail of the bridge. Why the driver crashed isn't known. A firefighter rappelled into the truck and pulled the driver out with them. The rescue only took 30 minutes.
He was in good spirits. When our firefighter was with him, got him in that harness. He got out. He actually was waving to the first responders there and thanking people, so he was in good shape.
Another thankful survivor in the second Louisville fire rescue of a semi-truck driver hanging over a bridge. Just over a year ago, it was Sidney Thomas hanging off the 2nd Street Bridge.
I mean, it's a similar situation, but not nearly as catastrophic. If something went wrong.
Jim Knight with Suburban Towing, a company contracted by the city to respond and clean up these crash scenes.
Yeah, we're there a lot.
Specifically, this area of the Kennedy Bridge going southbound. Sunday evening, another semi hit the freshly replaced barrier from the crash in the morning. And Saturday, a truck carrying new vehicles crashed in the same area, leaving the truck and cars damaged.
I'm not sure if drivers are not paying attention or they think they're supposed to be getting off at an exit, so they try to correct really fast and they lose control.
Now the truck and its trailer sit in the Suburban Towing lot. Take a look here at this cab. It was completely off of the truck. And back here, a fuel container destroyed by the crash. Now this truck will be totaled and scrapped by Suburban Towing. 3 semi-crashes in 48 hours at the same spot on I-65. Costly damages in an area that almost cost a life. At Spaghetti Junction, Clarice Shaley, WHAS 11 on your side.
Metro Police continue working both of those crashes to determine what caused them.
Yates is third, but it will be sovereignty to rule the Kentucky Derby.
What a finish it was. Sovereignty is your Kentucky Derby 151 champion. The 3-year-old beat out the favorite Journalism for the top spot after heading into the Run for the Roses with 9-1 odds. Now we are left to wonder whether the colt will aim for the Triple Crown and run in the Preakness. We'll hear from his trainers in the next half hour. This year's Preakness, by the way, will take place on May 17th. What a soggy weekend it was, Matt. A lot of people got soaked at the Derby.
I was one of them too. I was out there myself, and yeah, we had the rain ponchos, but you know what? It did not stop us from having a good time. It was very, very fun to be out there. But that rain, I brought it with me along with these steady cloudy skies. Check out this view of downtown. You'll notice this thick cloud cover still around with us. That's because we've got some air that still is susceptible to bringing in that it's really easy for clouds to form. So here's how things are looking right now temperature-wise. We're still off to a bit of a cooler start. Mid-50s across parts of downtown, and then for the rest of us just outside the city, we've got those temperatures ranging into the lower to mid-50s also. Here's what's causing us to stay so cloudy. This swirling area of just clouds and rain showers. I know it may look almost like a tropical system, but this is just a standard area of low pressure. It's just really been sitting over the Ohio Valley for the last several hours, and notice how it's not really moving. It's very stationary, and we're going to continue to stay under this cloudy and drizzly pattern as we go throughout the remainder of our Monday. So taking a closer look at home, you'll notice that we're just seeing these steady showers continuing to just swirl around Kentuckiana. We're going to stay in this pattern as we go throughout the next upcoming hours, and we're really not expecting these clouds to break apart until we head later on into tonight. And also these rain showers are going to be consistent too. How they're just spinning around in this counterclockwise direction, that's going to be the trend for at least the next 5 hours. So I would say if you're just towards the east of Louisville, you guys are going to see some more rain showers arriving just as we head further on. Now, we're not expecting necessarily any heavy downpours, but it's just going to be that lingering, light, scattered rain that we're going to have to deal with as we go throughout the remainder of our Monday. The full details all about the weather forecast for the upcoming days coming up here in just a few short minutes.